Good morning. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm having some technical challenges. Y'all know how I am about all of this technology, but I am going to push through. That's what I do. That's what I do. Okay, so let me stop the banner and welcome everybody. I see we got a couple of folks in the room. We also have a few folks over here. Hi, Nina. Hi, Nicole. Welcome, welcome over here in our Clubhouse world. Let's see. I'm solo again, so I don't have my handy dandy co-host to help me navigate the space. So I'll be checking and looking and moving, and so you'll see me all over the place. Let's see. Hey, Lashanta, we talked about you. We got to talk. How was your test? How did everything go? And the Bahamas, ma'am. Good morning, Tasha. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. And good morning. Is that Vicky? Marigold? Look, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, all right. So let's get this party started. Um, yeah. Welcome, welcome. I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope you are as well. So, welcome to our Saturday morning tea where we discuss health information, news, education, certification tips, entrepreneurship, career paths, uh, all the tea, whatever comes up, and it's some tea to be spilled, and you want to spill it. Here we are. So, welcome. I am Clarice Warner. I am the girl with the pearls, the founder and education director of the Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC, where coding education is key. And let me just ask, do you know what it takes to be a certified marketable medical coder? Well, before we get our show started, let me share with you some information on a free email course on the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder.
Are you interested in medical coding, but not sure where to start and scared of wasting time and resources? Let me help you with the right steps to become a certified marketable medical coder. Learn more at bit.ly/5stepscoder.
All right. So I realized that since I had to get out of one room on Clubhouse and open a new room on Clubhouse, my link wasn't pinned. But if you are interested in more information on the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder, then you can check out the link at the top of the page in Clubhouse. If you are part of our friends and family that are joining us via YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, you can check out the video description for the link. Um, I'm so excited today. We have a guest. We have a guest. So everybody be on your best behavior. First update on my co-host. He's still in the hospital. He's doing much, much better though. He told me. We had some conversation yesterday. He said he's doing better. Y'all know again, if you're know the power of prayer, keep my co-host, Mr. Jesse, the registered trademark, the coding nurse in your prayers. We need to make sure that he is doing well and taking care of himself. The health professionals, nurses in general. Yes. Is Nicole still on here? Yes, Nicole, I'm probably talking about you too. Y'all are sometimes the worst patients, but just keep him in prayer, and pray that he does what he needs to do so that we can see him back here. I may come on next week. I probably open up the room next week, depending on what happens during the week. It's the end of the year. Stuff slows down. So it's holiday season and all that stuff slows down. So we may or may not be here on Christmas Eve. And depending on what happens with him, he may or may not be here until the first of the year. We need to let him rest and do what he needs to do to gain his strength. So I'm excited. I'm excited. If you are new here, welcome. And before we jump in, let me remind you, if you are on Clubhouse and want to join in on the conversation, raise your hand so I can see you, and I'll bring you to the stage. And feel free to just chat away. And your opinion matters, and of course, is always welcomed here. So don't be shy. For my Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn friends, you know what to do. You use that chat. We we have had a lot of conversations via chat, so continue in that vein. If you have a question, please type a Q first so that I know it's actually a question and I don't want to miss it. We don't have hundreds and thousands of folks in the chat, so I do kind of catch you guys, but I'm trusting and believing that one day we will have hundreds of people on our Saturday morning tea. So I'm preparing us now. Okay, so let's get into it. Today, joining me, let me bring her on. Hey, lady,
Hi.
joining me is Miss Mashallah. I did say it right, right?
Correct? Yes, you did.
Miss Mashallah Alexander. And she's going to help us unpack and spill the tea regarding a data analytics career. So she is married, a mother of three. She's an epic principal trainer at the University of Cincinnati, at UC Health. She's been there for 5 years.
In this role for five
In this
years.
role for 5 years.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Been there for many more, for more.
Okay, well, we'll unpack that too. She is a proud member of Gamma Phi Delta Sorority Incorporated, and that's the sorority for professional women who are either entrepreneurs or certifications or degrees. So, welcome, welcome to the Saturday morning tea. Mashallah. Yes, yes,
Thank
yes.
you for having me. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. Like I said, y'all be on your best behavior. Okay, so let's
Look.
get. Yes. Okay, Miss LaShanta, she passed her AAPC approved instructor.
Congratulations.
Yes, yes. So I know that that Bahamas trip made it even better. That's what's up.
I remember that feeling. I remember that feeling when I passed my AAPC. It was just like, whew.
Oh, girl, girl. It was like after you walk away with your shoulders all tense and whatever from the stress of sitting there, and back in the day when I took it, it was the time was a little longer. But you're sitting there that entire time, like, and you have more questions. You're sitting there the entire time. And it's like, oh my God, it took hours for me to just let my shoulders relax. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was 8 months pregnant taking the test.
Bless your whole entire heart.
And I remember like, baby, okay, is this the right answer? Look, so yeah, my decompress was something something different.
I love it. I love it. She said Bahamas was amazing. After a week there, didn't want to come back. Girl, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Let's see. Good morning, Sarah. Welcome, welcome. Let's see who else. Yes, Miss Tasha, get well soon. Mr. Jesse, thank God he's doing better. Yes, and may he recover quickly. Yes, yes, yes. The tea for Jesse. Yes, and they're welcoming you. It's Mashallah. Wait, can I don't see your name up on the thing? Oh, it's because I'm showing the comments. Duh, duh. Okay,
Thank you, thank
and
you.
Lashanta, everybody is congratulating you. So yes, yes, this is great. Okay, so let's spill some of this tea on data analytics. I ran across an article from AHEMA, and I know we are friends of both AHEMA and AAPC, so it does what it needs to do for both organizations. But just wanted to there's been a lot of interest of late regarding data, and kind of pivoting the coding world, if you will, into analytics, understanding the importance of data, and all of those beautiful, beautiful things. Now, before we start our conversation, I did find this little AHEMA minute that talked about data stewards. And so it's a little video. I'll play that real quick. Let's see. Let's see. Here I go playing around with technology. Okay, let's play that. Let's see. Share. I want to do the whole screen. Okay, go.
Data stewards are subject matter experts and are responsible for healthcare data management across the data lifecycle and enterprise for a business unit, department, or data sets. Data are vital assets in an organization and should be treated as such. The quality of the data is of utmost importance. The data steward may interface with other business units in the organization. They may assist with data mapping, provide data definitions, and ensure the data meets the business data standards and rules. They may help define business terms, approve data relationships, oversee data standards and quality. They assist in providing education and communication on policies and procedures, and of course, data governance processes for their business unit.
All right, all right. We want to play it again. Okay. All right, all right. So that's just a little level set about uh, data analytics and what AHEMA is doing related to data analytics. And I'm sure AAPC probably got some stuff, but AHEMA sent their stuff to my mailbox, and that's how it came across my desk. So, that was a low lying fruit. So I brought that right on, right on in. Let's see. I got a couple people in the hi Tanika, hi Ebony, and hi Nina. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so let's just dive on in, ma'am. Now you do have your coding credentials or your
Yes,
so what
CPC.
you just CPC? Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Do you have any other credentials related to health information or
Not for coding, no. My other credentials are with Epic,
okay.
which is the electronic medical record for data build and training and, you know, data analysts in itself.
Okay. So what certifications do you have there?
So I hold a certification in Resolute Professional Billing,
Okay.
which how I started off my background as a CPC and a biller. My whole background previous to this was billing. I've always worked in a hospital setting. And so when I got into billing, I just dived in all aspects. So my first certification was in Resolute Professional Billing, in which my CPC really, really helped. And also ambulatory, which is the clinical side. So nurse triage, Phoenix. I'm credentialed for Cadence and Prelude, which is the registration side as well. And SBO, which is single billing office, in which the hospital side and the professional side come together as a unit. So, yeah, I'm credentialed in those.
All right. All right. So what made you transition over into the IT world from
So,
billing?
even in my billing and coding early on career,
Mhm.
when I first got introduced into Epic, which I was at Mercy at that point, I had never seen Epic. I had worked at UC prior, they weren't on Epic. So when I transitioned to Mercy, I remember thinking, what is this new program that you guys are working on? It was paperless. I was used to, every week we had to do reports, and they were like, no, everything's in this system. You never heard of Epic? I'm like, no, I've never heard of Epic. But as soon as they showed me, I wanted to know how it worked, the ins and outs, and it was so efficient. And so at that time, Mercy had been on it, and I had spoken to some of the analysts there. And at the time, I guess it wasn't my time, even though I wanted to dive right into it because it was just so hands on, a one stop shop. You know, it just really the efficiency of it. And it was started by two women. This,
Oh,
yes, Epic was started by, this nationwide, all over the world system was started by two ladies.
I never knew that. Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Interesting.
So, I always wanted to learn about it. I didn't get into it until I returned back to UC, and which at that time the professional site still wasn't on Epic, but I had a leg up because I had came from Mercy and had worked on it for 5 years. And so I kind of like sold it to my director, like, hey, you guys are not working efficiently. I have experience on, this system. This is what I know. This is what I know. But I would love for you to send me to Epic University.
Girl, you better
So,
parlay that. That's what's up.
yes, to learn more about patient build and analysis and data courier and all that type of stuff, so I can help you. We can work this together or whatever. And so, and maybe like a year and a half later, they created a position for an educator, which they had never had at UC. I got that. I was still in their ear about Epic, and they sent me. And it's been a learning experience and a journey, and I love it. I love it.
That's what's up. I love it. I love when folks see an opportunity and they knock on that door, they push open that door, they tap on that window or what have you. And
Yeah, the worst they could say was no. We don't.
worst they can say is no. Would you say that again, ma'am?
Yeah, the worst they could say was no. I still have my job. If they said no, I would, keep
Ma'am,
on pushing.
the worst anybody could say is no. And that no just means
Not yet.
not yet. Not yet. Maybe not with you. Maybe not now, because you had already started in that 5 year journey. So maybe not
Yeah.
with you, and maybe not now, and not yet. But when you do get it, how sweet it is. I love it.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you
Yes.
so much
Yes.
for sharing that. That's some tea for somebody. Somebody needs to hear that tea today. That's right. Girl power. I was not aware. So how was and let me just say this broadcast is not being sponsored by anybody but me. So no, whatever. Just this is the system that she uses.
Yeah, that's just the system that I use.
So tell me about Epic University. How was that? So did
So
they
if
send
you,
you stay there for a time or
depending on what you're getting your certification for, so I've been there 4 times.
wow, okay.
If you ever get a chance, it's in Madison, Wisconsin. If
Okay.
you ever get a chance to go there, it's an experience like you. First of all, you get to meet people from all over the world. This campus is on a farm,
Oh wow.
a huge farm, rolling green as far as the eyes can see.
Mm.
But what makes it so cool, one building is built like a castle, like Harry Potter.
Oh wow.
Every building has like themes. Another one day I'll share you some of my film because I filmed it.
Oh wow.
One building is built like the galaxy, and they actually have like a slide where you can go from heaven to hell.
Oh wow.
They have another area like Lord of the Rings. You have to think of the minds of these people. They're very eclectic.
Mm-hmm.
Each classroom has different themes. Like my first classroom was an acrobatic room, and it looked like circus themes. Then you have the Spider-Man room. But what they've done with this Epic, what they've done for the city of Madison, Wisconsin, is create such a economic boom for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because people come from all over the world, Epic has decided, because this place is so big, they can have hotels there, they can have restaurants there. They've decided no, not to do that because they want the people who come to Epic University to actually go to the town and spend money.
Hey, that's good. Look
You
at
know,
that.
and what these
Well,
ladies have created is awesome. They feed you while you're there, but everything is farm to table. So you will not find any processed foods, processed drinks, or anything like that. So when I first went there, I was there for like 4 days. intense, behind the scenes, hands on. You're in, these huge classrooms where you have several instructors, in front of you, and they go over items, and then, it's your turn. They have a system, or a red cup or a green cup. If you have questions, you just put your cup up, and, when you're finished, you put the yellow cup up. Um, and so once you go and get all of this training, then you come back to your home, your city or whatever,
Hmm.
and then you have to do a test.
Okay.
Um, they're timed tests, and in which you have to get a minimum, score.
Okay.
If at the time you do not pass, you do have, like two more chances to pass, and you have a opportunity. They'll tell you where you kind of like lacked at, and you can email a trainer and set up some time to actually go over some things to help you fine tune your study, your study skills, and
Okay.
then take the tests. And then these tests, much like coding, you can take them anywhere. They're not, tied down to the organization that you went to represent. Like, I went to with UC Health. It's your certification that you can take anywhere, all over the world.
Oh, okay. So, but you have to be sponsored through your employer to get.
No, you do not.
Oh,
You can
okay.
pay for it. No, you do not. You do
Okay.
not. That's just the way to get it for free. And free is for me.
Well,
So
that's
no, you do not have to be sponsored. There are lots of people who take it. Before I went to get certified, I actually started my training with a contract worker, and she had obtained her certifications on her own.
okay. Okay.
And so you do have an opportunity to do this by being a contract worker, and travel. And she travels all over, the country with her Epic certifications, doing, the same things that I do.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We need to talk about her. That's what's up.
Very lucrative career. Very lucrative career.
See, here we go. See that contract worker. Look, I hear entrepreneurship and all of that. And so you figure out and navigate and use the skills that you have to create the the business that you want, create the path that you want to follow. So I'm intrigued. I'm
Mhm.
intrigued. Okay, okay. So let's get into this article. So this article from Ahima, it talks about what does it take to be a great health data analyst, and there was a panel of four different folks from all over the country in various um, roles. One is with the United Health Group, one was with Kanza National Network, one is with Cooper University Healthcare, and one is with Abbott. And so they kind of just summarize their thoughts in this article about being a health data analyst. And so I knew somebody that was in health in IT in the IT world, mashallah. And I said, you know what? Let's marry the two of these together. So I asked her to join, and I will kind of post some of these same questions to her and get her thoughts um, on what it looks like in transitioning and yeah, and maybe glean and spill some additional tea because she already spilled some tea. I hope y'all caught it. I did. She already spilled some tea about getting into this world. So the first question they asked, and we kind of already talked about this, but just the interest in being a data um, analyst or transitioning into the IT world, and from your perspective, you saw this system and wanted to know the ins and outs and nuts and bolts. And I'm sure that is probably one of those things that is necessary to understanding, how things work and how you can take this tool and apply it primarily to healthcare. So some of their thoughts were being a health analyst offers the opportunity to blend their interest in data and healthcare, and then how the one gentleman applies his health information management skills in revenue cycle operations and analytics position, which similar to you because you came
That's
in through.
exactly
Mhm,
exactly. My background was in revenue cycle. Um, so that really, I felt like it gave me a leg up in going for that particular segment of IT. In the build, I already knew what the revenue cycle entailed and what they needed.
mhm,
So I just needed to know the steps on how to create that background,
mhm,
um, reporting, um, getting the data courier to translate that information over to the system.
mhm,
And in today's world of, there's so much YouTubes and, you know, and all kinds of other platforms in which you can learn these items. But because I had that background in revenue cycle, I already had that mindset of what they needed. I just needed to know the tools on how to create that system. And every organization is different. Every operational department is different. What works for one part of revenue cycle might not work for another. So you have to maintain those lines of communication with, the revenue cycle for, dental versus the revenue cycle side of dermatology. They all have different needs. So it's not that I'm always just sitting behind the system, clicking and building and building. I still have to have that open line of communication with those departments in order to assess what their operational needs are and then translate it over to the IT world. Sometimes I have to tell them, no, that's not possible.
okay.
Some things are across the board thing. It's a one and done. You can't segment it, or, no, that doesn't work that way. Like, say, even on their end, the worst that I can say to them is no. So I always tell people, hey, if you think about something that you may need in the Epic world, go ahead, ask me. The worst I can say is no, that won't line up, but we'll try to get you to something as close as possible.
Cool. That's what's up. That's what's up. Let's see what other things they mentioned. They're mentioning they're using their early jobs in medical records and working with data at a medical device company. Another lady said she learned about the importance of data quality through her work as a coding manager, where she saw how different types of data, like clinical documentation, provider alerts, coding, reimbursement, revenue, quality metrics, all of those things are dependent on one another. And lastly, the other lady said she has always been interested in the quote stories told by health records and realized that the ability to manage, collect, and understand that data would grow in importance. So she was following the trends. She was following the trends. So let's talk about some skills. So, what do you think are the important skills needed for this particular role? And I'll start by saying the panel both agree that there are both hard skills that are required, so your technical stuff, and then some soft skills like communication skills. So
Right, right.
what do you feel are some of the skills that if folks are interested in getting into this field that they would need to
Sure.
acquire?
You cannot be afraid to mess up.
Okay.
You're going to mess up. Um, some of the hard skills, like I didn't consider myself like this IT guru, you know. Yeah, I'm okay on computers and things of that nature.
You
But
dabble like I play around. No.
yeah, yeah, I dabble,
See something, I'll be like, oh, I want to know how to do that. I want to do it, and here I am.
right, right, right. You have to get over fear.
Okay.
That's one of the hardest things to get over if you have a fear of computers.
Okay.
Once you get over that and you're willing to learn, things are most of the time it's a step by step thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not just going to throw you in something.
Mm-hmm.
They have practice areas, and they call it the playground, in
Okay.
which you can tinker with stuff. And there's going to be some days you're going to want to throw in the towel, say, I'm not getting this, but you can't give up. You have to generally want to learn. Once you get to that, like you said, soft things, communication.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to someone else who's in that field. Educate yourself outside the standard means of whatever certification you're going to. Use your YouTubes, do your networking, your LinkedIn. I've met so many people on LinkedIn. Use blog boards. If you got a question, hey, I've been trying to update this module and it's just not working.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. It's doable. Believe in yourself. See the finish line.
All right.
See the finish line and go for it. You can do this. Surround yourself with like-minded people.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. But like I said, it's absolutely doable. I'm a woman of a certain age,
We all.
and you may think this is for the young and all that. It's for you. What God has for you is for you. And if you have a genuine yearning to get out here and learn this, you just go for it. And it's not I got it and that's it. It's a constant learning. It's a constant, and always continue to reach out. Most certainly, just like like with coding.
Yeah, with health information, it's a constant. You have to be a lifelong learner.
Yes.
Walk through the door knowing that things are going to change, and you need to stay up on and abreast of all of those changes as they occur and as they happen. So,
like you said, make yourself marketable.
Ma'am.
That's how you continue your learning. You make yourself marketable.
That's right.
Put yourself out there. When you see an opportunity, go for it. Go for it.
Y'all catching this, T? Y'all catching this? Yes, I love it. I love it. Okay. So let's see the panel. Some of the skills that they mentioned, they mentioned communication skills were very important, especially working with stakeholders on projects.
Mm-hmm.
They also mentioned Excel. I think everybody mentioned Excel, and not just like the basic Excel, but understanding and learning some of the more advanced techniques that and tools that Excel offers. I love that you said get out here and look at your YouTube, because that's an opportunity for you to learn and do some things for free. I've seen where there are full on classes on some of the IT lingo and programs and products. I'm like, really? I mean, like 1 hour, 2 hour, like for real,
Mm-hmm.
somebody is actually teaching you how to put this together, and you walk away with like a finished product. So you walk away with a website, or you walk away with some type of app or product or whatever. And I'm like, wow. Okay.
And that makes you marketable. You can put that on your resume. Hey, I'm savvy in this.
I've been trained. It may be YouTube University, but
they don't need to know that.
I've been trained. He says becoming proficient in SQL. The SQL is, I think they call it SQL. The other person says paying attention to detail and patience are important soft skills. She also noted about SQL and Excel, and they are your friends. Y'all know how we feel about friends. She said work experience and reflecting on mistakes help develop those skills over time. Again, she mentioned communication skills with reporting to audiences with different levels of knowledge. And I'm sure you get that from the education perspective.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to know your audience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When I'm educating, I spend like at least 10-15 minutes on getting to know my audience. Mm-hmm. Hey, is this your first time doing this? What's your level of computers? you have to know your audience. Every class is different. It
Yes.
is. You cannot have, because we everyone has different learning skills,
Mm-hmm.
and preferences. Some people are more hands-on, some people like repetition, some people pick it up just like that. Some people might say you're moving too slow, too fast. So, yeah. And even as a learner myself,
Mm-hmm.
when I went to Epic, I had to at some points, hey, can you explain that again? I may have been in a room with people who had been doing this prior, than I have, and they picked it up like that. No, I need you to show. Is there a different way? You
Mm-hmm.
know, so you have to know your audience and adjust, your teaching skills. And like I said, when I was in Epic University, sometimes I had to, can I speak to you after class? Can you go more slowly? In order for me to learn how to build. And when you said also with the spreadsheets, there's different aspects of build that you have to keep record of on your spreadsheets.
Okay.
And one patient might build off another patient. And so you have to keep those records like, hey, Anne is just a replicate of Bill, but you're going to do a different date of birth on this. So yeah, you know those Excel spreadsheets and stuff, they are your friends.
Let's see. They also mentioned curiosity is important and creativity, critical thinking, and again being detail oriented. Um, let's see. She again mentioned learning advanced Excel functions, and she is currently learning the NCQA data aggregator validation program. And then the last person mentioned analytic and data visualization tools and languages such as Excel, Tableau. We've done some Tableau discussions here on the T, as well as R, SQL, and Python. And I told you guys when I came back from AHEMA 22 that they were talking heavy on Python, and that Python was the thing that folks need to get into. And I did do a YouTube university search, and there are several things out there on Python. So if this is where you're trying to go, and this is your love, here's an opportunity to kind of at your time, go out there and see what's out there and see what you can learn. Yes, yes, yes. Um, let's see. She said early on she became focused on becoming an expert in Excel and learning how to clean data as well as creating pivot tables and visualizations. So yes, yes, yes. So let me ask you, what do you like most about your position and transitioning over into the IT world?
I like knowing that when we have implementations, that I had a part in that. Um, we have upgrades every 6 months. Some of them are minor. It could be like the enter button was in the lower right hand corner, and now it's in the upper left. Um, we may introduce new patients in our practice area. And prior to that, we're creating this build. And so when it comes into fruition, and it's like, hey, I had a part of that. That's like my digital footprint, in this system. And just knowing that I accomplished something that is going to impact the organization as a whole,
Mhm.
so that's what I enjoy. And then just learning a new skill, something I didn't know yesterday. I just really, I really love learning and just pushing myself forward on things.
I love that. I love that. Let's see. The panel says pretty much the same thing you said, being open minded and open to learning new things out of the scope of daily tasks. They feel that that was one of the things that make a great data analyst. Of course, knowing the basic terminology and nomenclature systems and how they're used. Um, let's see, staying up to date with ever evolving regulatory programs. Y'all already know that's in both worlds,
Right.
whichever way you go. Um, and then the one lady said, and I love, love, love this. was understanding the quality structures and interrelationships of data across systems, the skill of data profiling. She also felt that good data analysts also knows how to listen to subject matter experts and to present data as it exists, which of course is part of the skill of data visualization. But here's the thing, and she said, lastly, and equally important, the best data analysts learn how to allow the data to tell its story, paying attention to bias and finding ways to reduce it. I was like, oh, ding, 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 ding. That's it right there. That is it right there. And that is the future in healthcare, with all of the data points that we will become hit with as we transition on and begin looking at the social determinants of health and all of those different things to help make healthcare better and accessible for everybody. So I was loving that. I was loving
Yeah, great points. All great points.
so, what do you find is the biggest challenge in working with health data, or doing the job that you do?
Sometimes the time constraints.
Okay.
People are on a right now schedule, want it right now. And sometimes you have to push back. And people just aren't patient. They want immediate gratification. Um, the data world is awesome, but it's not magic. It's not magic. So that's probably like the biggest challenge is getting people to understand that some things take time. You have to have accumulative data,
Mhm,
and data, you need time to collect that thing if you want a great product.
mhm.
If you want a great product, you don't want me to just throw something out there and not have tested it, not have realistic data in order to connect, the items that you need. Um, so that's it. Sometimes people tell you, ask for things at the last minute, and they think that their area is the only area you're working in. Everybody is it's me, but no, I had this department that I was working on, first, then I had this second. You're tertiary.
And let them know.
Yeah, um I'm here to service, but there still has to be an order to things. So,
Yeah.
that's probably the biggest thing is getting people to realize that things do take time. I'm going to get to it, but it's going to take a little time, especially if you want a great product.
Yeah,
Do
you
you
want it
do
right.
you
You want it to
yeah,
be what it needs to
you
be.
want quality. You
Yeah.
want something that's going to last. You don't want something that's going to crash the system, because something got missed.
Right. And then you have lags and delays, and it's offline, and you can't even
Right.
get the work that you need done because now you have a data issue, and that's no fun for anybody. So
Yeah, and exactly. And it's not just me. Sometimes my work is dependent on someone else,
Mhm.
before that actual product gets pushed through the system. So, you asking me does not, and I may have the time, but the person, before me in the process, is working on something, tremendous, and right now they can't get to it.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Okay. And another person on the panel said the same thing. Time management is critical, because there's so much data that is out there, and it's working all of that data and understanding all of this. Another person said the data silos, understanding that the systems, and integrating all of the systems, so the clinical, financial, and administrative data, and all of the things that need to work together so that everything works the way in which it needs to work. Another panelist said, again, understanding terminologies, data governance. um, yeah, she had trying to influence an organization to value data management. And she said, while organizations value having data, ensuring and enforcing good data management practice across an organization is not always given the same value or attention. So yeah, that is some good stuff there. And then the last question that they talked about was any career advice for others interested, even though we've spilled a lot of tea, but any other career advice for others interested in becoming a health data analyst. Let's see, the panel said, of course, their credential. So their health information credential was really something that paved the way and was a foundation for them in health data and help them to do the work that they're doing. Um, let's see. One panelist said that having information about health information allow him to see the bigger picture of the healthcare system and develop critical thinking skills. And it says that another panelist said that she believes that health information professionals have a unique skill set that can pave the way to the data analyst role. It said getting started. Of course, data analytic courses and data sets are available to help to get some practice and understand the work. Learn how to speak healthcare fluently and becoming a subject matter expert in a variety of clinical and administrative operational areas that create or use data. That again is putting yourself out there and say, hey, I'm interested in understanding more. Can you show me, finding that mentor, like you mentioned, or finding that person who
Mhm.
may be a knowledgeable, more knowledgeable than you, that can kind of walk you through and get you the information. She said, at the very least, Excel and SQL. So those are the starting. So if you're interested, start with Excel and SQL, but don't forget Python because they said Python in the health information. And then working on practice projects is also a great way to do this and build a portfolio. So, what do you think? Or what kind of career advice do you have for anybody who may be interested in any other career advice? Because you've already given us some tea. So anything else
Sure,
you want to add to
sure. The role of a data analyst can apply to so many different entities. As far as like healthcare, you can sometimes just start off being credentialed in a certain area. So, my first experience was being credentialed, in which I was able to obtain study material.
that?
And once I got that study material, what I had to do is present that I was able to teach something within that study material.
Okay.
Currently, even in my role now, we will credential people in other departments in which you don't have to go to Epic University to do. We will, if you have an interest, say, hey, let me see your teaching skills. We'll just tell them to, teach anything to see how detailed oriented you are. So, not only are we assessing what you're teaching, we're assessing your communication, your directions, whether they're clear and concise, um, how well you answer a question, because we'll have like a quick little question to answer. And from there, we will say, okay, I tell you what, I'm going to show you a segment of something. And if you can master that and teach it back to me, we can credential you.
Wow.
And a credentialed trainer or, analyst will start to learn those steps, and they get a certificate and everything. And then the next step, the only time you need to go to the Epic University is to get certified. And then that's when you go and do the big test or whatever. But if you're interested in any type of data analyst, reach out to that department. Talk to someone there. Ask them, how did they get started? Did they just get their foot in the door? Sometimes it's just getting your foot in the door. And it may not be in that data analyst role, but you're in that department in which you can soak up all those jewels, all those skills and stuff like that. Hey, what does that mean? Like you said, and then also YouTube University. I love that, YouTube University. And then inquire, what does it take to go to the next level? No, there is no dumb question. The people who are sitting in those roles were sitting where you are at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Inquire, Google it. A lot of times they'll tell you step by step what all you need to do. If it's a healthcare thing, align yourself with a healthcare department. Ask them, hey, sometimes they'll create a role. They might create a role that'll get you in that first step. Just like when I started, they didn't have an educator. But I went in there, I told them, you need an educator because everybody's getting taught 5 different kinds of ways. And then from there, that actually, shot me forward to the behind the scenes learning.
Wow. If somebody had a question, Carmen asked, how long is the training?
Okay, so it just really depends on what certification you're trying to get. So when I went for my Resolute billing certification, like I said, we were there for what I did. I got credentialed first, and I wanted to learn everything. I was like, I don't want to just learn this little piece. I want to learn the full gamut. And so even while I was doing my regular job, I was doing, insurance follow-up and education and things of that nature. That individual training, that one-on-one with that contractor, it was about 2 months, but it was only like so many hours a day. It wasn't like full days or whatever. But the training in Epic, I was there for 4 days, and then they give you a allotted time to take your test. So it was 4 days of to get my certification of training at Epic University. But then they give you like 6 months to actually do the test. Me, I wanted it while I was fresh on my brain. I mean, because they send you home with all the things that you learned and, booklets and things of that nature that, some people like to go back home and, practice and things of that nature. And then, you take your test, and it's a time test, pretty much like the coding test. And they tell you to take like 3 days to know your score. It's like 30 seconds after you do submit.
Walk away knowing.
Yeah, you walk away knowing. Okay. But like I said, and it just kind of depends on what area that you want to be expertise in.
So are there any other areas that you're looking for certification, or you're I mean, I know that curiosity may hit you, and there are some things that you want to learn more about. Are there things that you're anticipating in
well, even in certification, like, okay, so I have a certification in hospital Resolute professional, and I also have ambulatory, which is the non-clinical side, which generally not too many people have both the revenue cycle side and the clinical side. But there's so many segments within that. So in ambulatory, it could be nurses. It could be PCAs. And everybody's module is different. So, my Resolute side, I got that because I had, prior experience on that. So with this ambulatory, I'm still learning all of the job roles that go with that. Now, eventually, I may want to do a provider certification. Okay. But like I said, that makes you, so much marketable. So, provide for a side hustle. Like I said, you could do your contract work. You can keep your regular job, do your contract work on the side. They come looking for you on LinkedIn. You don't have to go looking for them. And it could be a contract work for just 2 weeks, or it could be one for 2 years or whatever. It could be right here in Cincinnati. It could be in California, because most of them,
we think global here, ma'am.
Yeah, you're thinking global, and a lot of it is online. You don't have to meet these people, and so yeah, I'm pulling for all of it. So if one day I decide, hey, this 9 to 5 ain't for me, I want to do something else, or either, hey, I just want to, get a little side hustle for the summer or whatever. I can do that because the demand is so great.
Love it.
Um, and like I said, and this, certification actually, qualified me for my sorority, because all you had to do is have a type of, certification, either an entrepreneur, a certification, or a degree. So, this certification and learning this data analyst led me to something outside my work world. And then also with my sorority, I can network with other people all over the country and all over the world. Hey, are you a analyst as well? Well, yeah. Hey, we're looking for people here. So it all kind of ties in together. So these steps, were just awesome. Like I said, it's nothing to it but to do it.
Hey, that's it. Say it again. Nothing.
Nothing to it but to do it.
And y'all see that it's in demand. It has some entrepreneurial aspirations and aspects to it. Y'all know where the money reside, and it's nothing like, hey, being proactive versus reactive.
Yes.
So you're in that in our field, and you're looking for something else as things transition, and we hear it all the time. You got all kinds of program AI and all other things that are potentially looking at making our jobs and profession more quote unquote efficient. That's all falling on the IT side, and the data. Oh my God, just look at all the places that data touches in healthcare. It's across the board: clinical, administrative, financial, all of the things that we already got our fingers
Mm-hmm.
and playing around with. You're just taking this to another level and parlaying your skill into another skill. So, hey, here is an opportunity. You know how we always talk about nurses flooding over into our realm. Here's an opportunity for us to do the same thing over here.
Absolutely. And you don't have to go to school for 4 years or 2 years to do it, you know.
Man, oh my God, this was wonderful.
Yes, and thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I love sharing. I really love sharing.
Oh, girl, we have to bring you back. You can share some more.
All right.
This was great, and this is like what we do here on Saturday. We look at all of the possibilities and look at all of the things. So you don't necessarily, we have, and people are again, I believe in global, all over the world, figuring out what it is that they want to do and how they want to either get into the profession or pivot what they already do in the profession or elevate that to, hey, I need to start my own organization or corporation. You mentioned one thing, and I guess I wanted to add about networking. There are so many groups in you're not just tied to what you see right in front of you, so where you are locally, but there are other places and groups. Yes, she did. There's some other places and groups that you can kind of do a search, do a Google search for data analysts in your area.
Right.
Somebody told me this the other day. I was looking for some things for my daughter, and she was like, go to Eventbrite and put in whatever the topic is and the area it is, and see what things are happening, because there are oftentimes events or things that are happening right where you are.
That is a great idea. I never thought about that. Kudos to your daughter.
Yes, to plug in and say, oh, okay, well, here's a way where I can network and meet. My question, I did have one question. Is there like some type of association of data analysts? I know oftentimes they sit under the broader umbrella, like with us with health information, but is there some other sort of data analysts group nationally or organization that
I'm sure there is. I haven't delved into that, but I'm sure there is. Like you said, I'm thinking about this Eventbrite thing. or whatever. Look, and I'm sure it's, we use Facebook for all kinds of stuff, and I belong to all kinds of different groups in Facebook for networking and things of that nature. I'm sure there probably is.
And my co-host is big on doing things for Black and brown bodies, because he's like, we need to have a whole Black coders network. We can get the Black data analyst network, whatever, however. So,
absolutely. Absolutely. Now I'm going to be on the hunt for this. If I find out something, I'm going to let you know.
Definitely. I love it.
Because networking is power. I tell you, networking is power.
You said, folks from LinkedIn will be looking and seeking, and you don't even have to say a word. They're already in your, hey, ma'am, we see that you got XYZ, this, that, and the third.
Right.
Networking does the same thing. It may be a little old-fashioned, because that's how we did it.
Yeah.
However, it still works. The blood
it still works.
That's how
it still works. Yes. I'm all about that.
What they know and how they can introduce you to someone else, and you provide. Of course, you're if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
You don't have that is my quote. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I tell you.
Tell you. So when the opportunity presents itself, you're right there, you're ready, and you're ready to jump into a new adventure. So
right, always have your plan ready, because you just never know. You don't have time to go back and try to think of a plan. You have to have it already ready, because somebody else is already ready trying to jump in too. So you got to jump in.
I'm like thinking of a master plan.
Yeah, because ain't nothing but sweat inside my head.
Yeah, we like to have fun over here too.
I love it. I love it.
Oh God. Well, this has been great. Y'all already know that tea has been spilled, but I'll ask again, was the tea spilled today? Was it spilled today? I already see some teacups. I see all kinds of stuff. They got gems, all of the things.
Awesome. And then if anybody has any more questions, I'm on Facebook, Mashallah Alexander. Okay. I'm on Instagram, same. I'm pretty basic. I don't have one of them trendy, where you can't find me.
Right.
Mashallah, the number one. I don't know. Mashallah Alexander.
Yes.
I'm on LinkedIn. Just go ahead. Feel free to reach out. Like I said, I'm not here to hold no secrets. It's enough for everybody. Yes, it is enough out here for everyone.
There is room at the table. I love that. I appreciate you so much. So we go back. Oh my God. We go back a long way. Look, at first I was like, no, we go back way
further than that.
We go back some years, both in the profession and outside of the profession. So it's so good to know you. And I love knowing women who are doing the thing, knowing people who, like me, just want to share and provide opportunities for others. I feel like once you are given something, it's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to pass that back and bring somebody else up and with you. And so y'all already know that's the primary purpose and reason why I show up every Saturday here with you all, just to, when I find out something that I feel like somebody needs to know, we gonna talk about it.
Yes, absolutely. Why hold all that in? No.
Yes, why hold it in? It makes no sense. Be the resource. And as I spill it for you and spill the tea and give you the information, you do the same thing. Share that information with others. Again, you never know. Somebody may need to hear this information and this message. So feel free to share. And so Mashallah has given you her contact information. Reach out to her if you are interested in the world of data analytics and all of the steps that she used and parlayed. She's willing to share. So here is another resource that you can add to your, and when she put together the whole Black data analyst, who to plug into. Look, I'm putting that on your plate.
I see. Look, you just moved that right on over to my place.
Who to plug into. So again, thank you all for joining the Saturday Morning Tea. And if this information was valuable for you, again, help us share this message with others by sharing the video, and sharing the video.
And share the video.
You can also like the video and subscribe to the channel, Professional Reimbursement Network. You can also check out check us out on other platforms. We're also on LinkedIn. We're also on Instagram. I think I did something on TikTok, but I don't even know what to do with TikTok. That's a whole other animal.
Lord, I tried to do a TikTok one day because my other little side hustle, I do studies and stuff like that. And one of the things you had to do afterwards was do a TikTok. Look, it went all bad. I got it on there, but it wasn't quality. I can attest to that.
Girl, I'm like, really? Am I gonna have to dance my way across this world? I don't understand. But yeah, here we are. For those of you who are joining us in Clubhouse, don't forget to click on the greenhouse to join in on our fun, and you will get notified of our live broadcast. We are usually here every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, this has been a great session today. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. You just never know. Like I said, we go way back. Who knew we would come circle back to here? Wow,
Full circle. And you will be dropping the gems and spilling the tea that you did. I appreciate you. And we
thank
see you,
you.
girl. Do your thing. I love
Thank you for this platform, letting me be on this platform. This is awesome.
Anytime you want to come, just say, "Hey, I got some more stuff. Hey,
I got some more. I got time today. What?
I got some stuff I need to talk about."
Yes.
Right on in. So thank you all again. Remember, be safe, be kind, and don't wish for it. Work for it. Until next time, take care. Have a good one.